Welcome back to the channel. This is Football Tempo brought to you by Azar Studios. The 2025-2026 Premier League season is upon us. Manchester United, the Red Devils, Ruben Amorim. Can he be the man to lead Manchester United back to their glory days? Last season was for stability, but this season, it is time to hit the ground running. Uncanny Sam and Shekari joins me as we look at Manchester United 2025-2026 season in preview. United already have signed fantastic players on paper. Matheus, Cunha, Bryan Mbeumo, and Benjamin Sesko. Not forgetting the arrival of Pedro Leon, a player they signed last season. With these four players coming into the club and some players saying they want to leave the club, it is time to hit the ground running. No European football, no distraction. Maybe the Premier League title is the goal, or let's say a qualification back to Champions League football or to European football back for Manchester United. My guys are in the studio and we'll be tearing apart Man United. This season, like I say, if your club no do well, you go collect them woto. We know they slow down because the season of you either win or you suck. Let me start with the Manchester United guy in the studio. Shekari praise. Una don't sign. Una don't win trophy. Una don't win Premier League. But a series he had for the end. Una don't sign Benjamin Sesko. 22 years of age. About 62 million. Now they fear. 3 players don't come in an excess of almost close to 200 million on these 3 players. And Premier League una they win. Or we could just see how the season they start.
Like you said, but me could just put them like that. Me could see how the season go start.
You don't even get confidence.
No, me, I guess I take the watch my own ball, right? I know say the club to some extent they don't try in that regards as per players with they don't bring in, right? Now they don't try, right? They don't do what they're supposed to do with regards bringing in quality players, right? No, the truth of those players are quality, right? But I just feel like for the whole striker situation for Benjamin Sesko, it's a gamble, right? A player that his best season has just been 21 goals, right? In like 4 or 5 years, that's his best return. 21 goals. Yes, I mean he's still young. 21 goals and I think 6 assists. There about, like I told you the other time, you get persons way I feel say then go do better in that system. Like Jean-Philippe Mateta. I know say himself in returns never really hits that high. Yes, but with a team like Manchester United, with the kind of chances where then they create, right? We can talk about Man United, how bad they've been for a lot of years, right? But one thing they've not lacked is creating chances, right? It has never been a problem with that club. Most of the times, not just conversion. We know the last good finisher the club had that didn't have a problem with converting those chances was Edison Cavani. That was the last best thing they had as regards striker, right? For Benjamin Sesko, I'm not saying in any way that it will not pay. Say you know go pay the club or say go turn out flop, right? It's just that
no say how they go.
I would have preferred someone else.
Well, right? Before we come back to the signings, let's look at Manchester United last season first. Before we come to, of course, this season. You know, Ruben Amorim, of course, came in after United made that change of guard. Yeah, when he ought not to come. Well, of course, when United decided to make the change of guard, he came into the club, and there were a lot of promises. He had just beaten Pep Guardiola with his Sporting side in the Champions League. We expected that fast change. We expected that, that new Manchester United. But unfortunately, he came into the club when the club was there about 11th position or 10th position. But I finished 15th position, 42 points, negative goal difference after 38 games. Nothing changed specifically. The only positive was getting to the final of the Europa League where they lost 2 Spurs in a game they never turned up in the final. A competition that they would have won, and maybe would have been speaking about Manchester United in Champions League, a different light, this season. But Uncanny Sam, looking at last season, what has happened in pre-season, what should we be expecting from Manchester United?
Now, I think I stumbled on his last day match clip when he was talking to the fans, telling that, look, better days are coming, that should just exercise patience, that look, this is going to repeat itself again. And, what coming to my head is, if a car is bad, right? What do you do with the car? You work on the car. You don't repaint the car. If you repaint the bad car and make it look like it looks good, does it change anything? No. It's not. So that's the situation of Manchester United right now.
So they're not repainting. They
have a bad car. Instead of fixing the bad car, they are repainting the bad car. That's what they're doing right now. And it's not going to change anything. Now he came in. We know where the issue is. Not good players. So what will he come and do different? As at today, he remained the worst manager in Manchester United history ever.
Yes.
As at now, maybe in future, he might prove himself. Yeah. So let's start with even the Gaffer himself. Look, I've always said this and I'm still going to repeat it, that some coaches are meant for mid-table teams. And he's striking like one. He's a mid-table team coach. He's not a coach that's in Premier League. But in other league, he's not a mid-table team coach. But in Premier League, he's a mid-table team coach. And so because of that, right, I still feel the whole thing will continue. Now, last season, whether I like it or not, he played more games than the person that he succeeded. But won fewer games than the person that he succeeded. So you can't tell me anything. Yeah, okay, fine. He was brought in to change the narratives, right? He couldn't do that. And as we speak today, nothing so much have actually changed. Anytime I look at the signing and look at the euphoria, the noise and everything, I'm like, come on, people actually looking at what I'm looking. I don't know whether they look Manchester United with a different eye completely. Because I feel the surgical operation that's supposed to take place in that team would affect almost 60% of that team. But it seems they're okay with, just little things going on, the hype and everything. See, Shekari, if I should ask you, are you okay with your defense?
We know that there's a major problem in that regard.
If I should ask you, are you okay with the goalkeeping department?
My major problem right now, right, is the manager. I know say
fine, let's start with the man.
I know say when in come I been the Ruben the man and all of that, right? But now I talk
somebody call him Ruben Aminu and Ruben Aminu. Right?
Now I talk say me I know they watch my own ball like that. If I see truth, forget
sentiment, right?
And all of that, fanship and all of that, I go talk the truth. The kind of players we gets, we they don't bring in now players we go fit 4-3-3 system. And one of the major problems with the manager and the team's results is as simple as the back three system. It is as simple as that, right? We know say there are other problems, right? But one of the major problems now that back three system.
So you know now, are you confident in your defenders?
Now, let me start from the goalkeeping department. I've never been comfortable with Andre Onana.
It's back.
It's not news.
Andre Onana is back.
It's not news.
I wouldn't believe that he's
back. I know,
back.
like
back. He's back in training.
I know, like, he's back in training. Okay, fine.
Yeah, he's back in
but
training.
I wouldn't believe that he's back.
I don't like Andre Onana.
I didn't say bad. I said he's back in training.
That's one.
Now let me say something. Sincerely speaking, I differ with you on that. Now, you could use Ike Kassi as an example when he had the bad defenders and he was a standout goalkeeper. Ike Kassi back then when he had the bad defender that year that is Gegaray and the other guys that were defending. They had the bad defenders.
But he stood out.
Right. But aside him, tell me decent goalkeepers that have bad defenders that stand out. Simple example, Ramsey is not a bad goalkeeper at all. Sincerely speaking, no matter how you want to look at it. But because he doesn't have good defenders.
I don't think he's as good as they say.
Who?
Ramsey.
Well, no, I'm just picking at so see the issue. Why was this guy for me? Personal opinion. Why was his name? Onana looks terrible. Is because he has terrible defenders.
But we're seeing him.
But
we
saw him now.
Thank you very much.
But we saw some of the errors.
Now my problem be that.
And the errors.
It is not
the standard, right?
It is not the kind of. It is not how much goals he concedes. It is the kind of goals he concedes. It's not the kind of errors he makes. Right. We'll go make an example of someone like Robert Sanchez. Will you say Sanchez is a bad goalkeeper? Sanchez? Yeah, I don't think he's a bad goalkeeper.
Let me give you a
I think
example.
Sanchez is even way better than Onana.
Since speaking, I will pick Onana any day, anytime. I
hate Sanchez.
Fact.
Personally, I will pick Sanchez.
Now, let me give you a simple example. We've seen some schoolboy error from Raya. Will you call me a bad goalkeeper?
Some.
So, yeah, we've seen good number of schoolboys error
that has cost the team.
That has fact.
Did it cost the team?
Game? Yes.
No,
Arsenal drew a game. Yes. That one of the match that Arsenal that the nail was actually, that the nail everything on Arsenal's are coughing is their match against Crystal Palace.
But that's just one.
No, I can go even in preseason. You've seen one already.
Yeah,
So will you call him a bad goalkeeper? No. So forget about those school. Let's talk about the general performance of the defenders.
In 2 seasons,
don't pick out. The
truth of the matter is alone. For Onana's errors, you cannot say let's forget about it.
How many can you count right now off your head?
I can count more than 5.
Let's go.
Right now, the one will pay me pass. Okay, in fact, one match I will even call 2. I think was it last season, first leg against Brighton. He had the ball. Do you understand? I think Black said they crossed the ball. Oh, I cannot remember who was it. We squared the ball. Onana had the ball with him. The ball, I don't know how the ball take come till now. I don't know how the ball take come out.
That's one.
Okay, was it in the Europa League against one Spanish team? Is it Sevilla or yes? It was the one
where this guy had to come save
Come on. No, not even that one. So, last season in Europe, before last season in the Europa League.
Shekari. Now you've struggled to call out just 2 errors, schoolboy errors, out of almost 50-something games that Manchester United played last season. You understand? Now that's the issue. You struggle to call out.
Maybe he doesn't have it.
What I remember right now.
Come on,
if a player that at half of the season he had already conceded 50 goals.
See how exposed. Now how exposed is he? He's very exposed, and because he's exposed, he's bound to make some of these errors. If he has a defender, probably I would have even defended that ball that you're talking about that got to him. You would have been talking about that error.
No,
he's so exposed that a lot of ball gets to him.
It was a quick counter.
Not say shots. My point is this, right? He's so exposed that a lot of ball gets to him, and because a lot of ball gets to him, that high chance of him making a lot of errors.
Before we move away to Onana, why I want us to still talk about him is the fact that now Amorim has come in with a back 3.
Yeah.
But before Amorim, there was a back 4.
Yeah.
Now, this defense is bad. Bad. Sometimes goalkeepers also help the defense. Because you know that there's a level of confidence as a defender when you know that your goalkeeper is absolutely fantastic. He also gives you the confidence to also want to bridge well in his front. But when the fear is that the person behind you, you don't also have confidence in him. Because if we complain that Amorim is exposing the team, the defense line, because of his style to play back 3 where you have maybe a Lenny Euro if he's fit Harry Maguire, and then of course Matheus de Ligt. Now these players naturally are not players who win the ball in defense. Are players who want to move the ball out in defense. So they're not winning, they don't win balls. And then you have an Onana who is exposed. But before the coach, we had a back 4 that at least was a bit protected. But back-to-back seasons,
now make I give you an
considering more than 50 goals in the Premier League for a top goalkeeper.
Whose fault is it?
I don't understand.
You don't put that fault on.
No, I'm not putting it on
a goalkeeper that considered over 80 goals in one season.
How do you defend
the goalkeeper with a team?
Make I tell you something.
It's
a team that considered no goalkeeper.
Let me give you an instance.
A team that considers those number of goals is a bad team.
When Luis Van Gaal will be manager of Man United, I cannot count how many times Man United won a game with De Gea. We won a game 1-0. De Gea was the man of the match. Did this with Phil Jones and Chris Smalling that time.
That's a no-brainer for me. He's a decent goalkeeper.
Come on.
In fact,
with Phil Jones and Chris Smalling. Come on.
Onana is bad.
Come on.
But not as bad as you guys try to protect him.
He's bad.
That's why I say for me.
He's bad.
Gianluca Donnarumma is in the market. Where PSG have left him out of their Super Cup squad. It means that they're looking at shipping. But I think I'm impressed with what Liverpool, PSG
the issue with Man U right now, the issue with Manchester United right now, right? It's not about who is available in the market. It's about the resources.
True. Because I don't think it's not looking feasible for that club to scoff out around 60 million for a goalkeeper. I don't think that's going to happen.
In his early 20s.
I don't think. But we know how goalkeepers are. They get better.
So, but how many years are you certain it gives you?
I mean,
but let's move away from, of course, the Manchester United and of course I beg your pardon, Andre Onana, our pocket of issues and the goalkeeping issues. Now let's look at this season.
This is Manchester United.
There is no Champions League football for Manchester United. So it means that the team will concentrate. There's no distraction. Now let's cast our mind back a bit to Antonio Conte's Chelsea. Now when Chelsea signed Conte, now the Blues came into that season without European football. Haven't failed to qualify for Champions League, the Europa League. The season before, I had no distraction. They started with a struggle up until they met Arsenal and defeated Arsenal and went on a winning spree and went on to win the Premier League because Chelsea could play on a Saturday and have enough rest and come back and play on a Sunday. We're not bothered whether they will play on a Thursday, on a Wednesday, on a Tuesday. Now, could this be a factor for Ruben Amorim this season? He's not got the biggest of squad because we understand players are expected to leave.
A lot.
But with playing lesser games, because United are condemned to plus and minus, if they go all the way in our competition, about 45 to 49 games. That's talking about go all the way in the Carabao Cup, go all the way in the FA Cup. And then, of course, the league, which is 38, with nothing else to it. So we are saying about 45 to 49 compared to the 55 to 60
Games
the
that
club
they
will
butcher.
averagely play
Yeah.
if they play European competition. Can this be a catalyst to say it
Of
might
course.
just be
Of
a
course.
season of good fortunes for
You just give a
United?
simple example here, right, with Chelsea. I think it's the same thing happened with Arsenal. The year Arsenal couldn't make it to Europe completely, that was the year the Arsenal finally came back to
So
Champions
yeah,
League.
that was the year they finished in the
So I
Champions
mean,
League
facts
position.
on ground
Have shown.
I mean, it's supporting what you're saying. So truly speaking, it's going to work in their favor. Truly speaking, it's going to work in their favor. But my biggest concern is this, right? I still look at this team. I have issue with this team. Fact. Now with Arsenal, you could see the progression. Then you could see the players that they were buying. With Conte that you talk about, that you just spoke about, I think he has he has a striker. Then I think he brought back Lukaku, right? It was Lukaku.
Diego Costa.
No, Diego
Yeah, that was
Costa.
Costa,
Diego Costa.
He brought in Diego Costa. Diego Costa was a beast. You know, Diego Costa did. He was a beast. You know, the fight and everything. Amazing. Now, with mind you don't see that. Now, with what these two teams just spoke about you could see progression. But with mind you, believe me, I wouldn't talk about progression because we just spoke about two departments that are in shambles right now. We didn't talk about the midfield. If they're lucky to get Baleba final, that's going to be, for me, that's going to be one of the most amazing
signing of the season.
fact for Manchester United, because that young lad is he, like we they talk him for here, say he get 2 blocks. You understand? He's something else. Controls the ball very well, control games very well. If they can get him, that's going to be an amazing sign. If not, they have an aging midfield, which is another problem. So where Man U have actually concentrated on so much, right? It's just up front, right? So it does not look like the Arsenal team that made it to Champions League because they made the Champions League because there was no what they call it, European competition. It does not still look like the Chelsea team that had that this thing. So in as much as an advantage to them, it might not count that much because of the quality of the team.
No, I think that if you just solve all the problems at once, right?
Fact.
Last season we know say Man United struggled because they could not score. There were times that the team went 3 games without scoring a goal.
Yeah.
Right.
When goal of the season, goal of the month, now own goals.
At some point of the season, the highest goal scorer was Garnacho with 7 goals in the Premier League. With 6 goals rather in the Premier League.
How many players in Arsenal have scored more than 6?
It was that bad.
7 goals.
What?
How many players in Arsenal have scored more than 7 goals?
How many players
In Arsenal scored more than 7 goals last season. Just one player.
Kai
Havertz.
Kai.
Yeah, that's it.
because
Saka.
Saka
7.
scored in the Premier League.
Yeah, 7.
Okay, more than 7.
More
Yes,
than 7,
natural. Natural Gabriel Martinelli. Okay, yeah.
So now that is now I'm getting to a point.
But then he went round.
A decent team
Yeah.
have this working for them, and you don't have that in mind.
The truth is, when was the last time a Man United striker scored, gave 10 goals? When was the last time?
You have to cast your mind back.
Way back.
The same thing
Right?
with Arsenal. When was the last time an Arsenal striker gives you probably 10-15 goals?
At least, but before
Kai Havertz
last season.
Kai Havertz
he
gave over 10 now.
A season before that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. When was the last time? Just 12 goals. Kai Havertz, that's the highest in how many years?
So I'm saying that
The last time I think is Uber.
yeah, the last person was Aubameyang. That season he scored 20 goals. Right. So what I'm saying generally is we know that then they struggle with conversion. Right? The chances they there, right? They know they get goals. It was that bad that now Man United they owe Premier League goals for 2 seasons. Last season and before last season. It was a glaring problem. You don't understand.
It tells you one thing that the team is terribly
It
bad.
is obvious. Say yes, that area they need. Now it's good. Now it's good that they have brought in players that have good goal scoring records and good goal return records.
Fact.
Right? Bryan Mbeumo, Matheus Cunha, very good ones.
So now the issue is when they score, who defend? Who stopped your opponent from
No,
scoring?
maybe they will do a Jurgen Klopp kind of style.
Okay, they will score.
When Klopp
can outscore your opponent.
Klopp claim nothing concerned Klopp will
I feel
defend.
it works for them.
Outscore your opponent 4-3, 3-2, 5-4,
and then like he
and
said,
then take the 3 points.
like he said, if he can bring in, if they can secure that Baleba move, big one,
But
because we don't say Casemiro no get the legs anymore.
Since I
And-
discovered him last season, right, I've been his biggest admirer.
I mean, I don't see the guy. So I think I saw him at Lille. He didn't really play a lot of games out there at Lille.
In France.
Yes, he played.
Lille.
That's where I saw him at. And then they brought him to Brighton. First season, he don't really get a lot of chances, but we know see them bring out to replace Moises Caicedo. But if they get that guy
He's a
now,
replacement.
yes,
Okay,
it's a very good. If they get that guy now, I feel like it's going to be a steal because give that guy 1 more year. We know what Brighton will do. We know how much they will put on that guy, and we know how many clubs they will come for him.
20 million
If
minimum.
they can get him now, Casemiro obviously has lost his legs. He doesn't. What's
that
his
3 years
name?
old.
Manuel
He's not a joke
Ugarte is not it.
That was a bad
Terrible
business.
signing, terrible
We told
business.
you guys now. You were
I know
you were screaming then.
I refuse to believe.
listen. That how can the PSG sign a player?
No, I got
and
it
then
wrong.
let
My
him go
argument.
one more season.
Obviously,
That was my argument.
obviously, I got it wrong for over 40 million pounds. Really bad business.
Bad business.
Very, very bad.
Bad
If you can
business.
bring in Carlos Baleba, good on, because you know that he solves a lot
think-
of problems. He knows how to win the ball. Excellent ball winner. Knows how to move the ball, and he has a
And
very
and
good
he
eye
also
for
likes to go
goals.
into the box.
Yeah.
That's something I like about him. He's not
Yeah,
shy
score
of going
goals.
into the box.
Yeah,
He knows
score
how to
goals.
also
He knows
score
how
goals.
to. He knows how to hit the
Gives
ball.
you Partey vibes. Gives you Partey vibes.
Yeah, kind of.
Funny enough,
A
for
younger
me,
Partey.
Yeah, younger, and funny, he's even faster.
Yeah, he's quick.
He's more mobile than Partey.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
really quick.
age is
More
on his
mobile
side.
than
Age
Partey.
is
Yeah.
on his
And
side.
excellent ball winner.
Now, before we move away, we know that United started the season with a very tough tie against Arsenal. But
Yeah.
looking at the players that have come in, in a summer transfer where the club needed to let go
A lot of players.
before bringing in.
Yeah.
First, they dragged the Cunha matter for close to 3 weeks. Finally,
Cunha was fast.
Sorry, not Cunha.
Mbeumo.
Mbeumo.
Yeah.
Was over 3
After
weeks.
bringing in, of course, Matheus Cunha, before they could bring in Mbeumo, the transfer dragged and all of that, but they got in their man and then went for Benjamin Sesko. Now, United, on paper, have what many would describe as the best three, maybe one of the best three forwards. On paper, not on the field, on paper. Because
Arguably,
let's not deny it. In a team that has Sesko, in a team that has Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha, if you look at what they have done, not what they would do at United, these are fantastic
the
players.
kind of returns
What
they
have
had
done,
last season. Yeah.
in where they are coming from.
Okay, just put it side by side with probably an Arsenal 3 front. Let's see.
Now, okay,
No,
let's
let's
put
see,
it with
okay.
Gabriel Martinelli.
Gabriel Martinelli, yes.
Matheus
Because
Cunha
Cunha has
has a
done
better
better than
return.
him.
Yes, okay.
In over 2 years. Bryan
If you put
Mbeumo.
Bryan Mbeumo on the other side, in terms
Saka.
of numbers,
Saka.
he's done better
He's
than
better
Saka in
than
terms
Saka.
of numbers.
Yeah.
When?
Last season,
Just last season, right? But
yeah.
so
So that I said on paper, and if you put the last man up front, either Kai Havertz.
no. Okay, can I have it?
Kai Havertz, because Sesko is just coming in.
No,
Sorry,
you're putting Sesko that is just coming in, and you're putting
Okay, of course. So let's say Goalkeeping
Gyökeres.
wins it there. But if you go to
See,
another Manchester,
see, they are
Man
not.
City also,
They are
it's
not
only
the
probably
most.
Erling Haaland.
See, they are not the most. But funny enough, what I'm seeing with Chelsea, instead of thinking, I will even go with Chelsea front three.
If you go by the numbers, now
Chelsea
João
front three.
Pedro did not score better than Bryan Mbeumo last season.
Yeah, he did.
Neither he did score better than Sesko. Neither he did score better than, of course,
but
Matheus
I'm looking
Cunha.
at the. You're talking about based on previous record,
Yes,
right?
look at on previous
fine,
record.
yeah,
So on
agreed.
paper, it looks like a good front three
Yeah,
for
front
Manchester
three.
United.
Agreed. At least
So,
for the first time, he's
with-
smiling.
Yeah, no. But with this front three, realistically, Shekari, waiting with the realistic position for Man United next season, because we will put this on record.
Yeah.
If you know it, we're going to hit you every week. Where do you see Manchester United finishing next season in the Premier League?
Like I said, in all honesty, I don't think Ruben Amorim has what it takes to bring out the best out of those players. Now, just the truth be that I know.
I agree with you.
We don't see those players. These players have been doing it for not just last season. Cunha has been did it for like 2-3 seasons.
Yeah.
Bryan Mbeumo 4 seasons straight. Consistency, nothing short of consistency. He gave it to us, right? In the Premier, everybody saw it, right? Now, when Ruben Amorim entered the club, a lot of players we know that the team was in shambles, right? But you get players who been still they try turn up.
Yeah,
I cannot recognize Kobe Mainoo anymore. Look at the state of that boy.
he's gone.
Look at
He's not even worthy to
come
be a
on.
starter.
Look at Maza.
What if truly speaking, he was a one-hit wonder?
I really doubt it.
What if realistically the talent is skin
Okay,
deep?
now look at Maza. He was doing well under Eric Ten Hag.
No,
I know say
here's the wonder with Mazraoui.
I know say I've been a vex. Say there was Dalo, there was Aaron Wan-Bissaka. You sold Aaron Wan-Bissaka,
who is
right?
now a better player.
Come on, he had better returns than
Last
all my
season.
United fullbacks last
Last
season.
season.
Better return, right? But another bad business, right? Now, in that regard,
No could even go Scott McTominay.
now I don't dey call players wey be say we no fit really recognize since when this man come. My problem is this kind of football he wants to play. He doesn't bring out the best out of those players. Now now you look at take for example Amad Diallo now, a player that we know that he thrives offensively. You are making him play. Come on, it's just like say they
he's now
play.
a complete fullback.
It's just like say they play Lamine Yamal.
So where are you placing him?
Who?
Where do
Ruben
you finish
Amorim.
next season? This season, of course, the season is up.
Obviously
Last week you
better
said a
than
top 5.
obviously better than last
Okay,
season.
last week you said a top 5.
So obviously better than
Well,
last
yeah,
season,
let's
right?
say,
But maybe a top 5, top 6 finish at best.
For Manchester.
Look, yeah, I mean, like I said, he's a meetable coach. Because he's a meetable coach, I'm giving him, I mean, he's going to be among the top 10. Between 1 and 10. I don't know if you understand.
I think it's one.
He's going to be.
So one is a possibility.
So he's a meetable this, and I don't see something special about him. Fact. He's going to be, yeah, that's one. But then number two, like I said, I question his capacity, question his competency, question his, everything about him. Fact. I question a lot about him. And I'm going to leave it there. But looking at the team generally, right, for me, it's a bad team, bad business, and bad everything. Like I said, both on and off the pitch. Both on and off the pitch. Now, we've concentrated so much on the pitch of play. Off the pitch of play, which equally affect what happened on the pitch of play. It's equally bad. They are supposed to sell. Them and Arsenal find it difficult to let go their players. No, because of what? These guys are average players. Look how Chelsea players are going with ease.
And of course,
look how Chelsea players are going. Man
City,
City,
crazy.
Man City players are going. Nobody's want to buy Sancho. Nobody want to buy
Rashford.
Rashford on loan. Do you understand?
Zexi.
So off the
pitch,
pitch,
don't say that.
Off the pitch, right? Off the pitch, terrible team.
Yeah,
I mean, terrible business they've actually done.
Yeah.
Spent close to $200 million. Not a single dollar has come in, and
yet,
and guess what? Because we are so certain they're going to spend. They'll spend more than $200. At the end of the day, $200 million, £1,000,000. What might come in at the end of the day?
Less than 50.
Probably might be around 50, 60. Which at the end of the day, still bad business. And they are not in Europe. It means they have few games to play. They're probably going to depend so much on their weekly gate take
19 games.
Then
19
TV
guaranteed.
rights. Then the TV rights that is going to come. Now, TV right, good thing about TV right is the position you finish on some matters a lot. So probably those I think that they're going to rely on so much. So what is coming in is not much.
And
on the field of play, they're not looking promising.
And so they don't even have like the biggest of names, and they might get a huge profit from jersey sales and all of that. The biggest,
that's it. Merchandise
big
sales
names
is not really anything to talk about.
So,
because
probably because they have these cult-like followers, regardless of who's going to be there, they might buy it. You understand? But merchandise sales, merchandise too might not actually be a big source of revenue for them. But so all in all,
you've gone for a top 10.
Top 10. Yeah.
In one word.
Between 5 and let me be between 5 and 10. Then let me just put
now,
it
will Ruben Amorim finish the 2025-2026 season?
I doubt it.
Will he finish? I doubt much too. I think I agree with you.
In all honesty, I really doubt it, because now
but I think if Manchester United knows what is good for them, it's time for them to embrace stability. What has messed that club up? What has see, consistency has a way of making things work.
But Chelsea don't do consistency, they win trophy.
And it has affected them badly.
But they still win. They've not gone 3 years without winning.
Intermittently, you understand? When Chelsea is bad, Chelsea is terribly bad. Fact. And so imagine consistency. What if consistency is not winning, is not what the club, because we've seen consistency. It's Beyonce at times, right? Because it's a brand, right?
Yeah.
It's like a human being, sort of. It has to continue to exist. You wouldn't see people. That's why I love the NBA. You could sacrifice your ambition just to make sure that we exist. You understand? We know what Chelsea did to survive. If you want to bring that in.
True. No, I get
we know, because it affected them so badly that they have to start selling part of their sell their female team just to make sure that they avoid financial
fair
play. For me, that's not the way to go. I would rather go the Manchester United way. You understand that? Even to go to Chelsea. See, like I said, right? See, bring consistency and see what's going on. As far as the coaching, maybe the Amorim that is bad today, maybe consistency might make him look like a better coach, or might probably turn out to be, will make him a better coach with time. So for me, in as much as I know it might not last the season, but sacking is going to be another bad decision.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we wait to see where it pans out. For Manchester United, the two guys have agreed that there's no guarantee that Ruben Amorim will finish the 2025-2026 season as the coach of Manchester United. But one thing is certain for Shekari, is a top 6 finish for United this season with no European football to look out for, with just the Premier League, the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. Uncanny Sam is gone from 5th position down to 10th position, but doesn't see a top 5 finish, maybe, but definitely not winning the Premier League. Who says America cannot shock all of us and win the Premier League? Well, it is Manchester United who begin their season with a home tie against Arsenal in the 2025-2026 Premier League season. Where will Manchester United finish this season? Let's hear from you in the comment section. Football Temple brought to you by Azar Studios.